I've asked this council member and asked people this question. I've not got an answer for it. What we're not looking at is how we could save money too to extend our budget by wasted funds. And I feel I got a lot of wasted funds on things. And the council members just voted $250,000 of our tax money to pay for outside lawyers to keep Chief Fitzgerald from coming back to his job. He was falsely fired, and now they're spending our money to keep him out. Okay, I'd like to know why. Can you answer that, Jared? Why did you vote to give $250,000 to keep Fitzgerald from coming back? That's all.
Thank you for that question. Unfortunately, I can't discuss pending legal matters. So
you hadn't answered any questions, Jared. Thank you very much. No sense asking any more because you will not answer them. What I'd like to tap on some, and maybe if I got Mr. Cook a list of what I think is wasteful spending in our city. I don't know what budgets they come out of, where they go, but I have a question I'd like to direct to our councilman, Mr. Firestone, if he would answer the question. Can he take a question? Can you take a question, Mr. Firestone?
What's on your mind, Bob?
Well, y'all voted to spend $250,000 of tax money to outside lawyers to keep Chief Fitzgerald from coming back to his job, which brings the total to $500,000 of our tax dollars to keep a chief of police that was wrongly accused. I mean, he was a whistleblower, so he got fired. But he's been appealed, approved, and everything. We'd like for him to come back, but I don't understand why we keep spending all this money on outside lawyers, and I think that's wasteful spending. I think we could buy a lot of bicycles for kids that need it, other than giving it to lawyers. So, and I'd like for the council members, and if they'd answer these questions downtown, I wouldn't have to answer it here. So I appreciate, Mr. Firestone, you voted to give $250,000 to outside lawyers to keep the Chief Fitzgerald from coming back to his job. Could you answer why you voted that way?
Bob, so we came yesterday and asked the same question of the council members.
Different council members.
We're on a circuit around and we're engaging.
Okay, so he's not going to be able to answer it, correct?
I can tell you that as I had learned more today through your question, we are still in litigation with that individual, so it's very difficult for us to be able to comment.
But they voted to spend the money. That's what I want them to answer. They took an oath to serve us and to answer questions, and they're not answering. I think it's a legitimate question. When you spend my tax dollars, you ought to be able to tell me why. And it makes me more concerned when they don't answer why. That even raises a flag more. So I don't know how, as a citizen and a taxpayer here, that I can get the council members to do what they took an oath to do, and that's to simply answer a legitimate question. And Mr. Firestone, you're not going to answer the question. You have a right not to if you don't want to.
You just got an answer, Bob. You just got it.
Oh, I just got an answer, but not from you. You're the elected official. You're the one we voted. Thank you, Mr. Firestone, for your time. Thank you very much. And what's not mentioned up here, and I'm sure every city has wasteful spending. Okay, to look at some wasteful spending, what I call wasteful spending for a sample. Oh, I'm sorry. For a sample, what I call wasteful spending. That's sorry, I don't think it's working though. But my question had to go to the councilman, Mr. Crane. I'd like for him, I asked him earlier if he'd take a question. He said yes, he would. So I'm hoping he will take the question. A little while back on the city council agenda was to vote to put $250,000 to outside attorneys to keep Chief Fitzgerald from coming back to his job. And we don't understand why our city's spending that money. I think that's wasteful spending. He won his appeals and everything. So I'd like for Mr. Crane to answer why did he vote. And the second thing is, does that money come out of general funds? Or where's that money come out of? And this also makes it up to $500,000 actually to keep Chief Fitzgerald from coming back. But Mr. Crane wasn't here on the other part. But he's here and he voted for $250,000 worth to go there. And I'd like to know why. Chris Snell is the only council member that voted against it. But another thing I want to do, I want to spoke out one thing real quick. I've asked each council member each place this question.
I think that's the one question
Okay.
that you have for right
I just want to be
now.
fair with everybody. That's why I'm asking. All the
And
council members down the road, I want to be fair.
I believe that question was asked at a previous meeting, and I don't know if David wants to.
But it was never an answer.
Sure, it was asked at 2 previous meetings by Bob. The reason Bob doesn't ask me is because I'll tell him that, again, if the show is terminated for performance, and there's plenty of stuff on the public record, so that We don't need to rehash it each time.
The reason Bob don't answer him, he's not an elected official. Crane is an elected official, and he's our representative. This is his question. He voted for it, not them. So why are you protecting him? And Crane said he would take a question. Is he backing out on it now?
We do have a question.
Okay,
that
I'll
came
stop there.
in
Thank you for your
through,
time.